Welcome to Sports Science Insight. If you enjoy evidence-based content about training, performance, and athlete development, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Today, we examine the systematic review titled Biological and Race Strategy Characteristics Investigated in Elite Endurance Track Running by Taryn Elvish and colleagues, published in Sports Medicine. The central question is fascinating. When every runner in the final is already exceptional, what separates elite athletes from medalists? This systematic review included 39 articles investigating runners capable of competing at Olympic or World Championship level. The events ranged from the 800 meters to the 10,000 meters, including the 1,500 meters and the 3,000-meter steeplechase. 23 articles were relevant to middle-distance running, and 21 were relevant to long-distance running, with some studies covering both categories. The researchers examined biological characteristics and race strategy characteristics associated with success at the highest competitive level. The review could not identify one perfect biological profile for elite endurance runners. Studies investigated physiology, body composition, biomechanics, cardiac morphology, and anthropometry. However, the measurements were highly diverse, and many studies involved very small samples or individual athletes. Characteristics such as maximal oxygen uptake remain essential for reaching the elite level. But once athletes exceed a certain performance threshold, one isolated physiological measurement may no longer explain who wins. At this level, success cannot be reduced to a single number. Race strategy provided a stronger and more consistent signal than the biological characteristics. The most informative factors included pacing, positioning, qualification patterns, recent performance history, and finishing ability. Championship races are not simply physiological time trials. Athletes must respond to surges, manage fluctuating speeds, conserve energy, and secure the correct position before the decisive moment. The ability to use physical capacity strategically appears to be one of the defining characteristics of championship performance. The most consistent finding involved the closing stages of the race. Across middle distance and long distance events, better placed athletes demonstrated superior finishing ability. Medalists were faster than non-medalists during at least one 100-meter segment of the final 400 meters. This does not mean that every champion waited until the final straight. In many cases, the decisive separation began earlier. The critical ability was to increase or maintain speed when fatigue was already extremely high. The 800 meters presented a distinctive race pattern. Championship races were generally characterized by an aggressive opening, which helped athletes secure a favorable position before the field converge. After this fast start, successful runners were better able to increase speed again from approximately 500 meters and maintain that speed through the finish. Training for the 800 meters should therefore prepare athletes for two demanding tasks: establishing position early and producing another acceleration while already fatigued. The 1,500 meters followed a different pattern. Rather than one abrupt sprint, championship finals were commonly characterized by progressive acceleration and frequent changes in pace. The decisive kick often began approximately 240 meters from the finish, before the final straight. Athletes who were already close to the front when this acceleration started had a clear tactical advantage. For training, this suggests rehearsing sustained accelerations from around 250 meters out, under fatigue and from different positions within a group. Qualification strategy was also associated with success in middle-distance events. Finishing position in the heats and semifinals was more informative than qualifying time. Future medalists were more likely to finish near the front of the qualification rounds, while eventual gold medalists frequently controlled both their heat and semifinal. Importantly, this did not necessarily require maximal effort. The objective was to qualify safely, maintain tactical control, and avoid spending unnecessary energy before the final. In the 5,000 and 10,000 meters, recent performance history was especially important. Faster personal best performances from the previous 32 months were strongly associated with better championship results. However, championship finals were usually slower than the athlete's personal or season bests. This reflects the tactical nature of these races. An athlete with a faster recent best can run at the same absolute pace while operating further below maximum capacity. This may preserve more energy for surges and the final acceleration. In many races, medals were decided only in the closing laps. The practical message is to train the race, not just the physiological engine. Athletes should develop finishing speed, practice responding to surges under fatigue, rehearse tactical positioning, and prepare specifically for qualification rounds. However, this was a systematic review, not a meta-analysis. The findings show associations and cannot prove causation. Some biological findings came from isolated studies, research quality was mixed, and several race analyses used data from the same championships. The strongest conclusion is that elite endurance success depends on using fitness when the race demands it most.